I hope you're ready, Saturday morning cartoons. It's time to get fired up. 30 more seconds. I hope everybody's having a great Saturday morning this morning. This morning we have a very special guest. Let's get fired up for him. First, let's roll the intro. Let's go. Okay, this morning we have a very special guest, but first, go down, like and subscribe to Custom Life Pro on YouTube, and if you're in insurance, go and join the Insurance Syndicate group on Facebook, and if you really like Saturday morning cartoons, we have the website to our merch on the bottom. Go down there. You can get coffee mugs, T-shirts, sweatshirts, stuff like that. But let's get our very special guest, Mr. Tom. Let's get fired up.
Hi, Sawyer. How are you?
Good.
Man, I'm just thinking about all the, the turtle power. That's one of the most catchy. That's one of the most catchy cartoon songs ever.
Yeah. How are you this morning?
I'm really good. I'm getting hungry because I'm looking at your Popeye spinach, and I'm thinking I need some of that.
Yeah. Well, insurance is like spinach. It may not look good, but it's good for you.
That is really good. Can I use that, Sawyer? That's so good. Insurance is like spinach. Okay.
My dad got this from my grandpa. He was in insurance for like 46 years, and he gave it to him, and he said, like, as soon as you got in, he gave it to him, and he said, like, life insurance is like spinach. It may not look good, but it's good for you.
I feel like I should flex or something. I bust your dad up, didn't I?
Anyway. You should get a tattoo of Popeye spinach.
All right.
Then you can really flex it.
Oh boy.
All right. Let's get started now.
Let's go. We're good.
How long have you been in the insurance business? Well, first of all, what is your business?
What is my business? My business is I'm with Symmetry Financial Group. I'm, as we say, I'm direct to the wonderful, the great Paige Durgan of the Jensen Agency, who I think you had on a little while ago. I think we were talking about that.
She was in the car getting ready to go skiing.
Yep. And then I've been here exactly 3 weeks. 3 years. When we saw each other last week, that was 3 weeks exactly.
3 years.
3 years. 3 years. Yeah, 3 weeks. It feels like 3 weeks. Sawyer, that's the interesting thing. It feels like just yesterday that I started.
Yeah. Well, Where do you live?
Oh gosh, you want all that? Yeah, I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana. If we're going family wise, I've got two kids, 11 and 14, going on 20 and 25. So you know how that rolls, but
No.
you'll get there. It's fun, but no, it's good. I've been in Indianapolis for a long time. I used to be a golf pro before I started in this, and cellular sales and dental sales, and then was then COVID hit, and I was actually unemployed. So started out from the unemployment realm into going to get into insurance.
Um, how did being a golf pro lead into going into insurance?
Okay, that's a good question. I was a golf pro for 15 years coming out of college, and I worked hard. I traveled a lot. Lived all around the country, working about 90 hours a week, and made decent money, but no time, right? We always talk about in this business, you either have a lot of people coming into this business have time or they have money. And a lot of times when they have money, they don't have the time to spend it. And if you have an excess of time, usually you don't have the money at all. So when I found Symmetry, I found this balance of time and money together. And that was the biggest thing. When I was looking for jobs, I was looking for my next job, and I found my last, because this has been so impactful for me, um, and my family. And you're gonna get me emotional already, Sawyer.
Um, what is your favorite thing about being in the business?
Man, one of my favorite things was just the association part of this that we all experienced at the Cody Askins, where we got to see each other, talk to each other, hug each other, have some amazing pizza and sit by the fire for a while, right? And those are the things that I loved most about it. And in the situation with Symmetry and how that works, having that time and money balance. A couple years ago, well, last year actually, this is a huge thing for me. I missed a few of my son's football games, and I said never again. And this year, I made a strong commitment to him that I would not miss a football game if I was in town. And so far, I've hit every single one of them. And it's being able to make that commitment to your child and make that commitment to your family, and then honor it, because I control the work-life balance. And that was one of the biggest things for me coming into Symmetry was, um, I don't mind putting in the hard work, but it's also having the choices of family. And that was a huge, huge thing for me, because I didn't want to do what I was doing in the golf business, working 90 hours a week, getting up at 4 a.m, going to sleep at midnight. That was an easy decision for me. And, I don't ever see that changing.
Is there anything specific that you've learned that you've been able to use in your business to help you hire people?
Ooh. Oh yeah. That's a great question. Specific to hire people would be this: dig into it's what we talk about in the insurance business, where we dig into their why. Why are they doing this? Why do you want the insurance coverage? It's the same thing when you're recruiting. Why are you looking to go into an insurance? Because Sawyer, I know for a fact that when your teachers say, "Hey, what do you want to be when you grow up?" Nobody is raising their hand to be an insurance agent.
Uh-huh.
No one is. They want to be football, basketball, rock star, whatever, fireman, whatever it is. But when you're hiring people, one, you got to show energy, you got to show passion, and the other part of that is you've got to ask more questions, and what it would do for them, and the why, and how it would affect their lives. And when you connect that way, all the underlying support that you give somebody when they come in will be there for sure. So,
Thank you. Has anything embarrassing happened while you were on an appointment?
wow, that is, oh boy. Anything embarrassing happened while I was on an appointment? Outside of having to
This
mute
call's
and go to
not
the
being
bathroom.
this
What's that?
call's not being recorded, so.
Oh no, never, never. um,
I
probably
won't
the
tell
most,
anyone.
no, you won't tell anybody. Probably the most embarrassing was, um, I was on a call and I had to go to the bathroom really bad. That's probably the most embarrassing. The first time where you meet somebody out and you try to ask a really long question so that they have to answer it. That's probably the most embarrassing thing that's happened. You know, in reality though, probably the most embarrassing thing that happened was my very first appointment. I felt so uncomfortable. I felt so out of my own norm that it really made me question if I could do this because it was really hard for me. And that was probably the most embarrassing.
Joe Campert said not recorded, just published to YouTube.
Tom likes to take a pee in the middle of his appointments. Okay, we got it.
What
Oh, boy.
challenges has insurance presented?
What challenges? You know, a lot of that goes back to that work life family micro balance. You know, how do you get done what you need to do and still do what you want to do with the family? And a lot of times when those clash, that's usually the biggest challenge. And you know what we've done in our family is we have a Sunday night meeting where we talk about all the things in the schedule for the week with family, with work, with church, with everything. We lay the whole week out, and then at the end of the month, we lay out the next month as well. And the only challenges come up when a surprise comes up in the schedule that you didn't know. Those are the biggest challenges.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good idea, just to like get together and like. I mean, we kind of do something like that every night at dinner. We do a what's your favorite part of your day, and yeah. So but you basically talk about the whole week and how it's gone.
Yeah, and it's funny. My daughter, who's 11, her favorite thing that happened at school is the same answer every day. I came home. That's her favorite answer. So how was school today? Well, I'm home. So anyway, but no, it's Sawyer, with from a parent standpoint and from a business professional standpoint, when you're crystal clear in your communication of the week going forward, it makes that anxiety disappear. And then also it really gets you to commit to what is important and what everybody thinks is important, because some things might not, they seem important, but they might not be as important. So schedule's everything. And then I do what you guys do every night. I do what's called Focus 24, where at the end of the night, I line up my next day with no gaps in the schedule. I'm always doing something, so I don't have to react and not do something. So that's good that you guys do that.
Yeah. What are some tips that you would tell people about getting? What are some tips that you would tell people getting started in the business?
Wow. I'll relate this back to Sawyer when we were hanging out on, what was it? Was it Tuesday? Yeah.
Yeah.
When we were hanging out Tuesday, it's stay as close to that fire as you can. When you come in, if you plug in, if you're engaged, if you're reaching out to your mentor, um, if you're going out and searching the learning aspect of this business, it makes it a lot quicker to succeed. And we call that staying close to the campfire, because what happens when you're close to the fire, right? It burns hot, right? And sparks come off, and a spark catches you. I mean, I think I ruined a pair of shorts because of that fire bursting. You missed that the night before, but true story. I'm sending John the bill, but the thing is, as soon as you get away from that fire, what happens?
It dies down.
Or you get cold, right?
Yeah.
You get cold, and it's that same thing in the business. If you're engaged, if you're right in the middle of that fire or around the fire and you're feeling that warmth, when you start to pull away, you get cold. It's the same thing here for somebody starting. You've got to stay close to that campfire, 100%. That is, and then put in the effort, and the activity that you want to hit every single goal, and those are probably the two biggest things.
All right. Well, I hope people are taking notes. We're coming down to some of our last questions. What are you most excited about for the rest of 2023, which is a couple months, and going on to 24?
Man, I'm excited for the impact that we're building in this agency. We're moving forward. We had a record month last month. We're on pace for another record month this month. We're growing. I've got Ibble Wood that's just climbing up the ladder of promotion, and
she's on here right now.
She is?
Yeah.
Oh, we should probably tell her. We should probably tell her hi then.
She commented, "Hi, Tom."
Oh boy. But she's one that I'm super fired up for. I don't want to name a bunch of names. Josh Bostic is really grown into a leader at this point, and I'm excited to see where that goes. And I'm really excited for, I'm also excited for my upline page and her run to 130, the top of the company. It's going to be pretty cool. They're having a baby pretty soon. We're all excited about that. And, those things, that's really what I'm excited for, is just making a bigger impact for everything. And I think we're on that track to do that.
Yeah. In the follow-up question, what are some goals that you're hoping to accomplish this year and next year?
Oh, this year, a goal I've had in the back of my mind, and we're getting close, is the having $1 million agency. That'd be the first step that shows that we're growing and we're doing some things. And and the other goal is a little more organic. It's like, I want to really figure out, oh, bless you, figure out how to be that wasn't live either, Sawyer, you're okay. Just to be the best version of myself every single day, and be able to pour into the team and pour into other agents, and and continue this fired up tradition of being a leader and always supporting. Those are my goals. Are simple.
All right. Well, here's the final question. What is something you have learned about yourself while being in insurance? You told me to save that one for last for you.
I did. And, this is where, this is my, as your dad says, this is my wheelhouse. And I know he's shaking his head back there. I had no idea coming into Symmetry that it would change my life. It would change my situation. It would change my family. It would change those that I get to meet and talk to and interact with, because I just kind of thought it was just insurance. I was going to be working at home doing my thing. I had no idea at all that we actually read for a living and do insurance on the side. I like to say. Um, I think your dad could agree with me on that one, but it's it's really cool because um, I'm actually looking at a picture on my other screen of some of the books that I've read, and it's impacted me so much. And I, when you go to conference, and we sat in the same row at conference, Sawyer. That
Same
by the way,
table.
that was really cool.
Yeah.
And um, the when you make an impact and people give you that the recognition for like the impact award and things like that, it really means something. It means you put the hard work in. It means you other people see in you the growth. And I never expected that. And then to turn around and not even sit down and get the Fired Up award as well. That those are subjective awards. Those are things that other people vote on and do. And I could have never done that had I not grown myself and opened my heart wide open, locked. I always talk about it being locked open in the locked position, in the wide open position, as they say, all gas, no throttle, and just being the better husband, the better father, the better son, the better agent, the better mentor. I had no idea at all what I was getting into with that. And that, the and when people like your mentors see something in you, see a broken, I saw myself as broken. They saw me as somebody who was a leader and an inspiration. And I couldn't see through the weeds. They saw it from above. I couldn't see it through the weeds. And that's the biggest thing, because it's changed my life immensely. So you're trying not to get emotional, but it really has. People like, even a phone call from your dad randomly is something that really changes your life, when you have these people um, that are willing to call and check in and see how you're doing, and vice versa. That's a superpower of mine, is uh, checking in on people and seeing how they're doing. And yeah, that's probably the biggest that's the biggest surprise for me, is one, the personal development, and two, um, just becoming a better version of myself. I had no idea, Sawyer, none whatsoever.
And and uh, what does getting the Fired Up award mean? Like, out of like 5,000 agents, like, yeah.
Oh my lord, you asked the tough questions, bud. That's that's I'm like, you met Ryan, and
Hmm.
Ryan and I are not ones to talk about that kind of you know stuff about ourselves very well. That's just not how we're wired. But what it what it means is, for me, what it means is I said yes more than I said no. When people at corporate asked to do things, I was always raising my hand. Let's go. It means that somebody thought your personal growth was uh, far and above what they ever expected, and that you're always willing to help. And I guess that's probably the biggest thing, and that you have a ton of energy with it. So does that I don't know if that answers
Yeah,
that. That's
it
that's a
does.
that's a really hard question, Sawyer.
It does. Well, um, that's our time. So, oh, do you have any questions for me?
Oh man, what was one of the coolest things that you got out of the Cody Askins training?
Um, Going to the conference or meeting him like the first time?
Just last week.
Um, Probably. I mean, getting to see him again, because I haven't seen him since SWAT, or no, a couple months after. spot. And
Is it pretty cool just being in the association of everybody
yeah,
and seeing everybody? Kind of
yeah,
like what we all go for. We go for
yeah,
the message, but we also go for the hugs. I like the hug.
yeah.
And okay, one last question, real quick. Favorite
Uh-huh.
breakfast cereal is
Favorite breakfast cereal or favorite breakfast? I
breakfast
can do
cereal.
both.
Okay, let's do both.
Okay. Favorite breakfast. I'm gonna probably have to say. There's a lot. Oh, definitely campfire chocolate chip pancakes.
Ooh. Ooh, I'll
Like
have to get that.
you cook them over the campfire, and because that's what we always do whenever we're camping. We do that. Bacon, eggs, sometimes hash browns, or just potato wedges, and then cereal. Um, I like Captain Crunch. Oh, Apple Jacks, definitely. Apple Jacks with marshmallows.
Nice. I'm a cinnamon toast crunch guy and a anything sausage, egg, McMuffin style breakfast. Love that.
That's what I had this morning. I had a sausage, egg, and cheese croissant.
Yes. For the win. Sawyer for the win. Boom.
All right, well, we're going to do our outro. The way you do it is I say SMC out, or we say SMC out, and we do next to the camera like that, okay?
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1. SMC out.